Your time done they gone. Your beats done they done. You think say God in order for your side, and you want to find another way to prosper. You think say God in order just get your time. I beauty God will. Let me tell you I say ready. Come on me, come me. Hello, good evening, and welcome to another beautiful Saturday in the month of July. And the music that ushered us in is the music of our beautiful sister Simi and the legendary Y.W.W.B. And it's actually a song talking about, when we talk about ire, that's goodness. That our own goodness will not pass us by. That's what it means literally in Yoruba language, which is one of the languages being spoken in Nigeria. Thank you and welcome to another beautiful Saturday. My name is Rosemary Henry-Eze, and I'll be your host for tonight, and I'll also be the speaker for tonight. And tonight we'll be looking at the topic, career shifts and the woman's journey to fulfillment. This is the Young Women and Wives with Burdens and Blessings Initiative discussion platform. And on this platform, all we are out for is for the woman's wholeness in every aspect of her life. And someone will say, what is it about you and this wholeness? The woman has been bombarded with a lot of things, do's and don'ts, what she's supposed to do, what she's not supposed to do, things that will work for her, things that will not work for her. Okay, fine. But in all this is for the woman to actually find what is efficient, applicable, and workable for her as a person, and not necessarily what every other person is doing. So on the Women and Wives with Burdens and Blessings Initiative, what we do is that we meet the needs of the woman as an individual. The woman as an individual. And today we'll be talking about career shift. And it's very important that we look at this topic because a lot of things are happening, and women are asking themselves questions. A lot of people are asking themselves questions and wondering why, if they are really doing the right thing. Some women are actually at a point in their career where they are confused. They are not sure or certain of what to do next. And we have women who are so passionate about careers that they have started over a long time, and they are actually afraid to move on to other things. I tell women, I say, let me tell you something. The career you started out with, or the career you started out with, may not necessarily be what you will end your your life as a professional with. So we're looking at the career shift, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of career shift? Because the most important thing for us as an initiative is that the woman is fulfilled. Fulfillment is at the core of what we do, because when you are fulfilled, you are whole. Wholeness is also what we strive for. If you as a woman is fulfilled, you are made whole. Now, what is career shift? What is career shift? Let's look at it from a very simple and layman perspective. When we say career shift, we're talking about, a change when you are transitioning either from one career to the other or from one position to the other. So as a woman, something somewhere along your life as a professional and as a career woman, there would be a need for you to transition, either from one profession to the other, or from one like position to the other. But in this career transition, in this career shift, how how wholesome are you? How healthy, how happy are you in this career shift? Now, what are the things that will actually lead to career shift as a professional, as a woman? What are the things that will actually lead you to a shift in your career? Sometimes it could be your desire to have financial, financial, to improve your financial life. It will also be the fact that you are probably bored or tired with the profession or career you are in, and you desire something more, something better. Or it could be that the career space, or the career space that you currently are working on, or rather you currently are functioning, is actually going through changes. And you may be able to adapt to the changes that the environment of your career is going through, or you might actually not be able to adapt. Let me give you an example. For instance, technology is taking over, and so many things are being let me say taken over by AI, but AI is being inculcated into a lot of careers. And some women are beginning to feel that they are losing touch. They are losing touch with their life as career professionals, and then they feel that it is time for them to either some people are like, either move to something different, or stay back, or just resign, and then result to buying and selling. I've actually come across sisters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fumi Adeyemi, Labisi Rachel, Mommy. Thank you. Good to have you. Oh yeah, body. Oh yeah, Lowo. Prince. Good to have you. And I also can see our very own Ajilo Ray Success. How are you, ma? Well done. So a lot of things can actually affect women in this situation. Let me give myself for as an example. I worked as a quant surveyor for 15 years, and I do tell this story. And as I was drawing closer to my 40th birthday, I felt that I had spent so much time working, being a contractor quant surveyor. That means I had worked all my 15 years in career as a quant surveyor, resident on site. I enjoyed, as long as it lasted, the hype, the adrenaline of going through scaffold, jumping, and meeting people generally. I enjoyed it. But I just said to myself, I said, okay, what is it that lies ahead for me as I age? Because truth be told, I will not be able to climb scaffold as age progresses. Yet I actually also want to stay relevant in this profession that I find myself, because it's a professional job, and you can be in the profession for as long as you are willing to work. But then a lot of things were beginning to happen that, if care was not taken, I was going to probably lose touch, or lose interest, or become not useful. That was where I saw it. I've become not useful to myself, because and then for so long I had been a resident quant surveyor. I'll take measurements, I'll do valuation, I'll do this, and then it got to a time that my life became sort of monotonous. It became just the usual, and that was what I had done all my 15 years, and there was nothing that was different that I had done. However, I began to yearn for something beyond what I had gotten accustomed to in the last 15 years. So that led to my desire for a career shift. So, but I love the profession I find myself. I love construction. I love the built environment. I want to stay relevant in the built environment. I wanted to still be there. So I had to do that, brought about my desire to I started looking at what area or aspect of the built environment would I find myself, even as I age, comfortable, convenient, and still be functional and relevant in my field. So most times when women experience, because we're talking about women now, when women experience or desire for a career change, it stems from a lot of reasons. And I feel that most time one of the first reason or why women want desire career change could be because they are aging and they want something that could accommodate and be convenient for them as they age. I don't know if that applies to the men, but I speak from the hindsight or the perspective of a woman. And then also career shift, just like it is for both men and women, will be that your desire to have a difference or an increment in your financial earning, in your what you are earning. Because I remember vividly that before I became a registered member of the Nigerian Institute of Conservation, there was on at a benchmark, a salary benchmark. But as soon as I became a chartered member or registered member of the Nigerian Institute of Conservation, I found out that gave me an edge. So for every opportunity I get to change job, I put that in my resume, and that is looked into and considered for salary, major difference in my salary. So when it comes to a career shift for women, it is really not that it doesn't really mean that you are failing or that you are no longer useful. I remember I posted something on my LinkedIn page when I was talking about how sometimes in your journey you get to a particular time, you get not stuck, you feel that you have more to offer, but you are kind of restricted by virtue of some needs that you need to meet. So for me, for a very long time, I worked while I was in Nigeria. I worked as a quantum surveyor, but I knew that there were other aspects of me that I could actually function as. There were also, let me just say, my abilities that I had that I could also function at. But I was restricted by the fact that the financial need was very utmost and important, because definitely desires don't pay bills, rather work pays bill. So what are the aspects of career shift for you as a woman? Like I said, the reason driven, and for me, the reason driven was because I felt that, one, I was aging, and then I had done a particular routine. I've been in a routine for a very long time, and I felt I had done enough. I had this stage that I was at was no longer where I should be. So I was aiming for a higher level of responsibility as a professional. So when it comes to your life as a career person, it doesn't mean that you are feeling that you are no longer useful or relevant. In fact, it is a good thing when you start to feel uncomfortable, or you start to feel bored with a particular role or routine that you have actually been a part of or carried out for a long time. And another thing is, I also want to say that another reason that your personality. Your personality could also have to do with career shift for you as a woman. Your personality. There are some people that they come to this understanding that they have become they have overspent their, let me put it that way, they have overspent their welcome at this particular responsibility, or in this particular responsibility rather, that they have overspent their usefulness in this particular position, and they need to move to another position. So that is one of the things that will actually lead to career shift for you as a woman. Now, what I said, you may feel unfulfilled in your current role. Yes, that like what I said happened to me. You may feel unfulfilled in your current role. In your current role as a professional, you may feel unfulfilled. The unfulfillment may not necessarily be financially, but you may feel unfulfilled. You may feel that you have been restricted, because most times when we get jobs done, and for my job as a quant surveyor is very broad, but it depends on the institution that I'm working with. You know, the institution will kind of define your job responsibility or your duties or your function for you. But if you have performed those functions for a particular time and you feel that, oh, beyond this restriction that I'm having in terms of responsibility I'm supposed to carry out, there are other more that I can actually offer. So you begin to look for, you know, job opportunities or career opportunities that could actually help you, you know, help you birth those abilities that you are able to offer. Now, also, I'm not that you may want to pursue a passion or more meaningful work. You may want to pursue a passion or more meaningful work. Yes, yes. You know, when the discussion platform started, I remember someone asking me, how I can't marry you and this together. I never saw this coming. You are a quantity surveyor, you are a construction person. I never saw this aspect of you coming. I never saw you in this light. But the thing is that because I had stayed so long, I kind of like stayed so long, boxed up in a particular job description in this career, I had kind of like put to sleep the other aspect of me that would have made a very good career. So when it comes to career shift, a lot of things could actually bring about that transition. Then let's talk about when relocation brings about, you know, your career shift. Relocation, and now I'm not only talking about just relocating outside of your country or your domain, but we are moving, changing, you know, location. Now, you know, relocation does not mean that you are leaving your country. It could also mean that you are leaving a town or a village to another one. So it could actually also bring about that. Now, talking about relocation, one thing that I experienced by virtue of, you know, relocation that brought about a career shift for me is this. Now, I came to a province in Canada where, you know, the profession that I actually was running, the career that I found myself back home in Nigeria is not really a thing here. Yes, in this province. It's not really a thing here. But now I cannot just stay put. I remember that for some few months into, you know, into my being here, I came in as a student, I felt so uncomfortable. I felt so worried. I felt, what is happening? Where's the future? What is this? Did I make mistake about this relocation? But then one thing that happened for me was that I sat down and I looked at other, you know, other giftings that I have, other areas where I have actually expressed, I had made use of. For example, I know I love to teach. I had taught before. I have been a teacher, you know, I had taught in primary school, I taught in secondary school, I had taught, you know, prepared my own children for common entrance. So what happened? I had the opportunity to do what? To go run a program that helped me find myself right now, as we speak, in the school system, working as a teacher in the school system. So when it comes to career shift, relocation did this for me. But is it that relocation has killed my initial career? No, it didn't. But I was able to find fulfillment in my current location by finding myself in a career that helps me find fulfillment, because I love to teach. So I'm finding fulfillment being a teacher. Yes, it might not be something that is very palatable, let me put it that way. But the thing is that, you know, sometimes because I had worked for so long as a quant surveyor, initially it was not, I never really envisaged myself being a full-time teacher or, you know, traveling out of the country and being a teacher. But finding myself here now, and, you know, the joy that I find because I actually love teaching, I will say that for you as a woman, when relocation happens to you, or relocation determines a career shift in your life, you should actually go inward and find out areas that you have that gifting and you have that ability, and do what is necessary to continue to grow your fulfillment journey. In your fulfillment journey. So, and another reason why people go into career shifts, that you may also be responding to industry changes or job insecurity. Just like I have given industry change and job security. I said when I came in here, believe you me, I got a job as an estimator, but estimating here is not like one surveying. It's not quant surveying. Anyone can be an estimator here. An electrician can be an estimator, a carpenter can be an estimator. So it is not really what my field of professional journey back home is. It's not the same thing. So I now find myself changing that. So for me, it's not a matter of job insecurity, no, but it's because of I had to change industry by virtue of the fact that, okay, now I have to be here. Relocation has defined this thing for me. I have to be here, and I cannot be idle. I cannot be idle. And I also found out that if I succumb to just a life of menial jobs, where, because I need my brain needs to be working. If I just restrict myself to menial jobs, okay, let me just stay and just be doing the menial jobs, and then by the time I'm done, I will just go to another province. And we're talking about 4 years here. So that means that for 4 years, I would lose touch. I would lose touch with what is actually needed. So when it comes to career shifts for you as a woman and your journey to fulfillment, if relocation happens to lead to career shift for you, I will suggest that you also understand that you are not only bound by the profession you started out with. You are not bound by the profession you started out with. No. In fact, most often than not, a lot of people started out with a particular profession, and by the time they are concluding in their professional journey, is either they would have gone through different departments or aspects or phases or sections in that broad profession that they are in, or they would have gone into another industry completely. Now, there are different types of career shift for us. As a woman, and even as a professional person, career shifts and come in different way. And I have them written here. One of the career shifts we have lateral shift. And when we talk about lateral career shift, we're talking about moving to a different industry in a similar role. You are in a different industry, but you are in a similar role. For instance, if I came from construction, the funny thing is that quant surveyors are found in every profession, in every industry. So if I have been in the built environment working as a quant surveyor, and let's say assuming that I find myself now in the educational sector or industry, but still working in the works and service department, then that is a lateral shift for me career-wise. One thing I want to say is that I don't know if this has happened to anyone, but I found that from my experience, I found out that while you are young in a profession, you are enthusiastic about that profession. But as you grow in that profession and you gather knowledge and everything, you begin to have this feeling of you're good. I'm well versed. But as time progresses, new knowledge continues to come up, and then you have young professionals coming up in the same field. You now find out that it gets to a particular stage. What yes, you are learning and teaching by virtue of experience, but you now need to come down again to learn afresh. So that is why I always tell women that you should have an open mind to learn from anyone, whether the person is your younger or professionally or what. You should, because you have to, it is a downward spiral. You have to come back to learn, because what you are coming down to learn, it becomes actually what is relevant to your profession at that period or in that time. So lateral career shift means that you are changing, you are moving to a different industry, but in a similar role. For example, I'm moving, like I said, I'm moving as a quantity surveyor from the built environment, but I'm now moving to the works and service department in education industry, or as in the built and the works and service department in education as an industry. So that is a lateral shift. Another shift is a vertical shift. This is when you are moving up or down the hierarchy. For example, you are going from being an employed to becoming an entrepreneur. Back home in Nigeria, before I left, I actually had to register a construction company with someone. Finally, someone who is not even in who does not have a construction knowledge, but someone who is in the education sector. So, and why I decided on that was because I found out that this person has other qualities that will actually help nurture and bring successfully help the profession. So administrative wise, the person would help in that area. So wherever I am, wherever I, as a professional, I only have technical know-how, the person would support with the administrative knowledge and whatever it is that is required for, to help cushion and help the growth of the construction company. That was what happened to me. So another thing is that we have total shift. Now, don't forget I said we have lateral shift, we have vertical shift. Now, lateral shift, when you are moving from in the same role, but you are moving to another industry. And then when you have vertical shift, you are moving up or down. For example, you are becoming from an entrepreneur to an employed, or you are becoming an employer to an entrepreneur, or vice versa. And then we have the total shift, where you are changing profession completely, which is what I am in now. So I'm going from a construction professional, now I'm now in the teaching profession. So this is a total shift for me. But the thing is that, one of the advantage of career shift is that you actually are not you are of more advantage than someone who spends the entire career life or professional or career life just in one industry. One of the reasons why I really like project management as a profession is that project management, as a project manager, you are not restricted to one industry. So what happened to me was that I decided to find, okay, as I was getting close to 40 and I know that I cannot climb scaffold, I cannot be jumping up and down, I cannot be doing all that, I decided to do what? To find within my profession, the profession, the section, or let me say profession, that I would function effectively. And so I delve into what the project management. But project management, the beauty of project management is that you could actually, it's a versatile profession or industry. You will find yourself, I will be a project manager. As a project manager, I can be in any industry I desire. The only advantage would be that if you have in-depth knowledge in the industry you find yourself as a project manager, it will be an added advantage. However, you don't necessarily have to know anything about the industry you find yourself in. So for a woman, career shift is actually an advantage to your fulfillment, and not a disadvantage. However, let me say that if you have been in a particular career for a very long time and you have found fulfillment, you have found financial fulfillment, whatever, all-round fulfillment and everything, and you have been in that profession for a long time, going into another industry or profession or career to industry can be very challenging. It can be challenging emotionally, it can be challenging, mentally. You can, because you now start asking yourself a lot of questions. You might even have intervals or time where it seems as if everything is at a pause. Everything in your life, you might have months where everything is at a pause. However, that is happening to you because you did not prepare or envisage yourself actually, no longer finding yourself in a profession where you have become accustomed to and you have become, an expert in. So so many of us don't have open mind. We don't have open mind to accept a lot of things. So we are kind of restricted to this particular, oh, if it is not this, if it's not it, I am not, then that means I am not doing this. But the uniqueness or the beauty of a professional is that the professional is able to adapt and migrate to other professions or other industry. And if you're able to migrate to other industries or profession and thrive, and your thriving may not be immediate, but it will be a journey. If it's a journey that you are willing to take, then you should look at taking such journey. Let me cite an example for you as a professional. I know so many professionals that are that have found themselves and they're just really disturbed. Okay, I have a friend here who happens to be a legal person from her country. So came into this country where I am, and she's struggling because all she's good at, all she knows, is to be a legal person. Is a legal person. Barrister Ifije, Barrister Ifije is a lawyer. So, but she's struggling. She's really finding it hard. She's struggling. So I now find out that, before leaving and relocating to this place, she did not have a mind shift or an open mind towards to say, okay, see, all I know is that I am going to another country. I don't know what I'm going to meet there. Because until you arrive at a place, you will not be able to excessively say what will happen to you without being sarcastic or without being over spiritualizing it. You will not actually know until you get to that place. So your ability to adapt matters a lot. So you are either in a particular in your life, you are either facing lateral career shift, or you are facing vertical career shift, or you are facing total career shift. So discern and find out which level or type of shift are you going through as we speak. Now, most times there are processes that are involved. The processes that should be involved when you're going through your career shift. And one of the processes, like I said, is what you should have a self-assessment. You should have what we call self-assessment. You should be able to evaluate the skills that you have. Because you cannot lie to yourself. Now, you know the skills that you have. You should be able to evaluate your skills. What skills do you have before you make any career shift as a woman? Because we are talking about a woman now. What skills? You should be honest, do an honest self-assessment and evaluation. So what skills do you have? What skills are required where you find yourself? What skills are required? Then what values, what interest do you have? So in transitioning, you must ask these questions. These are then skill bridging. You must be able to identify, you must be able to bridge skills. I said skill bridging, identify transferable skills and fill in gaps through courses or certifications. So identify the skills that is needed where you are, and do what we call skill bridging. So if you need to do transferable skills that you have, and if you need to do certifications, whatever trainings, you need to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it, because if you are transitioning from one career or level or shift to the other, you must be able to, before you transition, you must be able to know what is required to get to that. For example, as a project manager that I have done, I have a certification in project management, but I am now working on the global certification, PMP, which is what is required in the country that I find myself. So pay the price and do that, because it will help towards your journey of fulfillment. And then networking, connections with professionals in your desired field. Be deliberate about networking and connecting with professionals in your desired field. Go out, network. See, even the one that you need to pay to go to, please do. Go out and network. Be there for them. Be there with them, rather. Be there with. Render service. Just make sure that you are out there. Because, see, the networking, what you will not learn or what you will not get from, training or certifications, you will get from network. Because even for your certification to be useful and impactful to you, network will help, is what you need. Network is what you need. So you need to be out there, networking with persons and professionals in your desired field. You need to be deliberate about it. And are there no challenges? There are challenges. What are the challenges that we find in our role? When it comes to career shift as a woman. Something happened in my diasporan, group. It's a WhatsApp group. That's the QS for diaspora. Some of them came and a lot of people were complaining, we are not getting jobs. We have submitted 1,001 resumes and we are not getting a job. And then someone said something. And one of what I said, he said, the problem that we have is that most of us are so red where we are coming from that we believe that this is the level I must be given. This is what I desire. No, they said that there's nothing wrong in desiring to start from managerial position. He said there is nothing wrong with that. He said, but one thing that he has found out is that for you to be able to infiltrate into the industry in a new location you find yourself, you may need to take up low-paying roles, junior roles. You may need to take up junior roles, and from there, that I know one thing about the environment I find myself is that they are quick to give you credit and promote you if you're actually doing a good job. That is, I'm talking about in a very sane and healthy work environment, not a toxic one, because definitely in every clime we have toxic work environment. You understand what I'm saying now? So you might likely have to take up, low-paying jobs or junior role jobs in the career or in the profession you are actually gunning for or trying to move into. Okay, you just got trained as a data analyst, as a business analyst, as a IT consultant or cyber security, whatever. You just got trained, you just finished your training and everything. You want to go into cyber security, you want to go into, ICT industry, and you are coming from construction like me. You want to go into ICT. You will find out that in order for you to be able to grow in that thing, you may have to take up, entry level roles, because you have not made mistake now. You have not seen the different sides to this your profession. You have not seen, so you are like to. If it is even ideal that you take up role where you will be trained and you will learn, so that that's why we have interns. You will learn. If you even take up an intern, you learn. And then as you grow in that, the confidence grows. Let me give you a story that happened to me. Many years ago, when I came into the profession, I remember saying to myself that I was not going to, I was very hell-bent on not reducing myself to a particular amount of earning. But I was also, I remember what my lecturer used to say back then, that we should, when we want to go to, that if those of us who desire to learn, that we should try to, start with a one-man business, as like private businesses, private owned or sole proprietary businesses. And that in such a parastatal, in such organization, you will learn more, because, you'll be given task. And I had the privilege of working in about 2 to 3 private businesses as a quant surveyor. And, during the I felt that I was being used. But I was always given work to do. In fact, I was even given work to take home and work to do and all that. Now, back 9 years after, 9 years after I've been in the profession, 9 years after working in private owned businesses as a conservator, growing and learning and all, I had the privilege of what? Of applying. I saw a vacancy in a multinational. And when I saw that vacancy in the multinational, what was said was that you must have minimum of 5 years experience. Even though 5 years experience is relative, there are people that are just counting years and they did not have experience per se. But I applied, and I went on the other interview. We're about 6. I was the only lady. But to cut the long story short, I had the privilege of being shortlisted as the person that was employed. Now, what am I trying to say? But what did that actually gave me an advantage? That even for those of us that came for the interview, I was the one with the lowest certificates. Yeah. I was the only one that had HND. Most of them had BSc, Masters. I was the only one that had HND. But because I had to serve, let me put it that way, had to serve, I had to learn, go through the ropes of, working in private owned businesses and given responsibilities which I have executed. So I could actually determine and foretell what, the outcome of a product or a project would be when I'm given to. So I went into multinationals and I had to work on projects that started from, conception to completion. And believe you me, even in this period where I am in this particular different industry, the experience over the years stays, and is, you understand, stays. And there are no challenges. There are challenges. So one of the challenges that you might take up junior roles. Just when it comes to career shift, take up junior roles. And another one is you might take up lower pay. You will have to take up then. You will doubt yourself. During career shift, you will doubt yourself. I have mentioned it earlier. And what we do as imposter syndrome, you will doubt yourself. You're like, am I able to do this? You will doubt yourself. You will find yourself, confused. You will doubt yourself. Your imposter syndrome will be so heavy. You will wonder if you can do it or not. But there we must see, you can do anything your heart anything you put your heart to, you can't do it. In as much as you are willing and open to pay the price. This week I saw on the platform of our beautiful sister Owa, and she said something. She said that she just doesn't understand why women want beautiful things, but they don't want to pay the price. So I think she runs a free tech this thing for women, and then you are absorbed into the tech training, and as you are going through the tech, and you started complaining, saying it's too hard. I don't understand. Is there any good thing that is not hard? It's not. So people don't want to pay the price of the glory that they hear. So it is very easy for you to celebrate other people, but when they tell you what it is that they have had to go through. So when it comes to the career shift, now, one of the things that happened to me, I have taught in Nigeria, but Nigerian situation, the role I am now, even though I'm teaching a special child. I have never done it before. I have never. But the experience of the fact that the experience I had teaching beforehand helped me. But there's one thing that I probably because of my exposure to working in corporate environments, I was open to being taught. And most of the people, they didn't know that they were teaching me. Some were being finicky or funny about it. Funny about the way they just want to prove that you don't know how to do it. But I'll step back. And I immediately, as soon as I copy, the next thing I'm doing that with my girl. So you will have to what? You might doubt yourself, but you should try to understand. Why this is coming up is just to help you know that it is not unusual for you not to doubt yourself. Nothing is all rosy and frolicking, and you are not going about, hey, no. life itself is all about ups and downs. And one of the things, the beautiful thing about life is that challenges build better aspect or part of you. Now, another thing is that you will explain tire. Sorry, I have to say it in again. For you to be able to explain to people, why you have to do this or why you have to have this career shift. People can't understand it. I remember someone asking me and telling me, I said, so now you are now a teacher. But you are in construction in Nigeria. And I said to myself, I said to the person, I smiled. I said, well, what would you have me do? What would you have me do? Would you have me being someone who doesn't impact? Or you will have me that I at least it is obvious that I'm growing in a particular aspect of life? And she looked at me and said, well, if that is the way you see it, that's the way I see it. The question is that in this particular period, I find myself in this industry, in this different from what I have known all my professional life. I am going to make the best of it. I'm going to make sure that I learn from it. Because really, there's something I want to say. Career shift or no career shift, you decide to shift career or you not decide to shift career. There is a reason why you are there. Now, 18 years, my first son is 18 years. 18 years after, I smiled and I said to myself, I and my husband, we're the ones that usually teach our children. Then common entrance, I prepare the children for common entrance. Both the first and the second, I prepared, at least the ones that were old enough, I prepared for common entrance. And, I remember preparing my first son for common entrance. And, every child with their own ability. And I spent a year and 2 months. But then I was also pregnant with my daughter, so preparing him and all that. But let me now make you laugh that there is no journey, there's no aspect of our journey on earth that is an error. So even though you might think it's a career shift, but now I was able to bring that into my life as a person because I was bringing into my life my journey as a maid. Yeah, my journey as a maid. While I was a maid in someone else's house, I was not this, I did not do common entrance in the person's house. But I would eavesdrop on the man of the house teaching the children. He's the one that prepared them for common entrance. I was always eavesdropping on him teaching the children. He was a medical doctor. He's a medical doctor rather. He prepares his children for common entrance. He has that time. So, and then I used to know this. There's this book. You Go See You Go. So I brought that into I prepared my children. Now, as I speak to you now, I don't have I'm not there with my kids because I've had a shift, whether career or whatever, but I have a shift in terms of location. But my boys, my older ones, are preparing my daughter for common entrance. The irony of life. Yes. And I didn't have to tell them. So I remember my first son telling me the other day, so mommy, I'm preparing Oledo for common entrance. And I'm like, it's time for her to do common entrance. So, when it comes to this, there's some things that you will have to be explaining. But you don't actually owe anybody explanation as to the phase of life you decide to go into. You don't. So then, there are benefits to career shift. As much as there are challenges, as much as there are shifts and all that, there are benefits to career shift. What are the benefits to career shift for you as a woman? And even especially in your journey of fulfillment, one of the best, you have a renewed passion and motivation. The thing is that there's something that you don't know that you are able to do. You have a renewed passion and motivation. You have a new, please, if anybody has question, contribution, please kindly drop. Please kindly let's have it. Please, I would love, by now, I would love to be reading your contribution, please. You have renewed passion and motivation. And then you have better alignment with your values and lifestyle. You have better alignment. One, you have renewed passion and motivation. Then you have better alignment with your values and lifestyle. And then another, new growth opportunities. New growth opportunities. And I said to myself, I just sat and I was, will I call reminiscing about my life? I said to myself, I said, would I have been happy if I just started my career and ended my career as a construction person? Because in these few months that I've, come back into the teaching profession, I've had amplified contentment. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I can wake up tomorrow and go back into the teaching profession, the quant of it, the construction profession. Because even though I am in the teaching profession, I'm also doing certification in the construction profession, because that I love that life. I lived that life 15 years. So now but my lifestyle, I love to teach. So you have better alignment with your values and your lifestyle. And another new growth opportunities. Oh my goodness. The thing is that while in the construction, the people that there is a to an extent a limit to people or network, your ability to grow your network. Because while on site, people I see are people that come into the site, my colleagues, then the construction participants who are the professionals on the project, and that's all. But like in my school now, we have over 600 children, the school that I'm in, and over almost 100 staffs. And sometimes I'm like, the other day I was like, oh, the person I know, you say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I've seen you. Say, oh, we're in the same school. I'm like, we're in the same school. So you have new growth opportunities. You have opportunities to do so many things. And then let me also try to tell you that now my boss, that's the person I'm actually working with as in the class, she's telling me, okay, oh God, you have your drive, your passion about education, about children, you need to go and do a certification, do your program in education. And I'm like, oh, no, ma, I don't think I'm interested. She's like, no, just 1 year. Just a year, and you're going to have your B.Ed in education. I say, okay. I think I will look into it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So these are new opportunities, new growth opportunities for me. So when I'm talking now, I probably was talking about MNIQS, RQS, CIQS, CEC, B.Ed, I'm just saying that doesn't really make the person, but I'm just saying that opportunities that you have, there are benefits to career shift for you as a person, but especially as a woman towards the fulfillment of your your fulfillment as a woman in this journey of life. And then another thing, greater life satisfaction. Career shift, you might actually find greater life satisfaction when you have a career shift. Okay, thank you so much. It's been a very deep and emotional period for me. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Akikunle Akibinu. Yeah, thank you. Said I'm right. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. And it's right on time. It's another beautiful Saturday that we have ended today. Next week we are going to be going to another beautiful topic. See, on this journey with the Y.W.W.B initiative, it's all about the woman finding herself, ensuring, letting her know that she's not lost, letting her know that she's only going through, that is part of her journey, and that she's going to be okay. And until I come your way next week Saturday, my name is Rosemary, Henry-Eze, and this is the Young Women and Wives with Burden and Blessings Initiative discussion platform. Bye.